T-minus 1 minute and counting. Three, two, one.
Welcome to the Flyer Show from me, Sean, and my grapple trail. Clear prop!
Hello and welcome to this week's Flyer Show. I'm Ed Hicks.
I'm Annabelle Cook.
And I'm Dave Calderwood.
And this week we'll be talking to you about your next steps after your PPL. I hear there's a new girl at the Met Office.
Yeah. Cirrus have launched their own instrument rating programme.
And there are some new jobs going at the BMAA.
As always, we couldn't do this without the support of SkyDemon. Thank you, SkyDemon. And here is this week's top tip, and it's from Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim from SkyDemon. Welcome to this week's top tip.
In the latest version of SkyDemon, for the first time we draw Flight Information Service boundaries in our main map. In the SkyDemon chart styles, these appear as dotted green lines, like this. Here we can see the boundary between two of the Langen information zones in Germany. And if we scroll across into Austria, we can see how the division of Vienna information looks, and the appropriate frequencies to call. As always, you can see the appropriate flight information service to call for any position on the map by bringing up the What's Here menu with a long press. You'll see them listed near the bottom of the screen, and you can tap to see more information, which will also briefly highlight the border in the main map.
For our full user manual, go to skydemon.aero and choose Help and Support.
Well, that's quite a useful little extra.
Yeah, I mean, SkyDemon is always improving, never standing still. A lot of people say it's the product that just keeps going, doesn't it? So,
Every time you think they've done it all, they add something new.
absolutely, yeah.
So, shall we see, as well as SkyDemon, what the weather has in store for us this weekend?
Let's check it out.
Let's go to Simon.
Hi again, everyone. I hope that you are well this evening, getting ready for the weekend. And it's a weekend, I think, that you might want to spend getting some brownie points, or perhaps even that weather book. Have a read through it, get yourself up to speed with Met, and get yourself ready for the winter months ahead, because it's going to be a very windy one. In fact, before you do that, you can make yourself busy by making sure the aircraft are well and truly secure. If you've got them outside, make sure that they're tied down, because it is going to become very windy. This is how Friday shapes up. Some early morning rain clearing away from eastern areas on Friday morning. You do notice, though, here through Ireland, even early on, quite quickly, rain getting in. Elsewhere, cloud just increases from the west as we go through the course of the morning. And actually, it's not a bad start to the day for many of us. And in fact, until early afternoon, many central and eastern areas are probably going to stay dry. However, this is the position at 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. Notice that heavy rain coming through Ireland into Wales, Western Scotland, southwest England. Also notice the winds picking up as well as the isobars get close together. And then by the evening, all but the Eastern Midlands, East Anglia and South East England have got rain and strong winds. But East Anglia and the South East, you may just get away with it. Do check the forecast carefully, though, because this storm system is changing all the time. This is storm aiming. Now, through the course of the night, we find rain spreading eastward, some very strong winds as well, gusting up to perhaps 60, maybe even 70 knots. Could be an 80, maybe even a 90 knot across northwestern parts of Scotland. Saturday morning there, you see we've got rain still through East Anglia and the southeast. It takes until early afternoon for that to clear away, and then we're bright and breezy, windy actually through the afternoon, gusts of 30 to 40 knots across much of England and Wales, Heavy showers affecting many western areas. They'll group together into longer spells of rain, western Scotland, northwest England. They'll be thundery as well, gusts of 50 knots, maybe even 60 knots across Scotland. And it's just downright windy for most of us. And then through the course of the evening and overnight into Sunday, still some showers affecting western areas. But by Sunday morning, heavy showers are going to be across western Scotland, probably northern England, probably parts of Wales. It stays quite windy there through Sunday. But more central and southern areas, although are going to be seeing lots of cloud, and it will be breezy. I mean, we're looking at westerlies typically probably at around about sort of 20 to 25 knots, gusting 35, maybe even 40 knots. Probably lower than that across the far south of England. I do think actually it's not that bad. Yeah, heavy showers western Scotland all the time, and I think we've got to look for extensive hill fog across northern England and parts of Wales. So not the best of flying weekends. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, what do I do? Well, I'll tell you what you could do. Get yourself booked onto Aviation Weather School Part 1. This is my classroom-based course, which is going to run on Saturday the 15th of November between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. here at Weather School HQ in Wombourne. We're about 3 miles to the east of Hackney Green. So come and have a full day of weather with me. I'll show you what you really need to know about weather. I'll get you able to plan accurately 5 days in advance. And I'll get you flying more, and I'll get you flying more safely. So to book your place, go to weatherschool.co.uk or scan the QR code. And I think I've got a couple of places left, so you can grab one of those, and it will be absolutely super to see you there. So whatever you're doing, get yourself ready. Perhaps don't do your hair too much this weekend, because it is going to get blown around. Have a safe weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Okay, so news, and I've got the first story, and this is all about a new girl at the Met Office. She's called MAVIS. Actually, it's a service. It's a new aviation visualization service. That sounds very posh, doesn't it? Anyway, it's called MAVIS. It's a single platform designed to replace several of their existing aviation weather services. Basically, MAVIS brings together aviation briefing service, network weather resilience, heli-brief and open runway, and brings it all into one new user-friendly system under the name MAVIS. That means everything from METARs and TAF to lightning data SIGMETs can all be displayed in customizable map views that you can find in one place. The Met Office says MAVIS is designed for all sectors of aviation, from airlines and airports through to GA pilots, balloonists and glider pilots. And basically, it simplifies access and future-proofs access to the system as aviation weather needs evolve. As well as being an acronym, and don't we love an acronym in aviation, MAVIS is also named for Mavis Hines, who was a pioneering Met Office data programmer in the 1950s.
Oh, that's very nice. I actually took a look at the beta site that's operational at the moment.
Okay.
It's placarded not for operational use.
Right.
But it looks really quite smart, and it looks a little, you know what, windy.com, how that has these layers of, you can look at the cloud cover, look at the rainfall. It includes all that, plus airfields are marked on there, and where they've got a weather station that's highlighted. It looks like it's got a lot of promise.
Okay, that's really good, because UK weather has been a bit disparate, hasn't it, in the past? So it's great that that's been brought up to date.
Yeah.
And it's also being made mobile first.
Oh, great.
So it works on the mobile.
Well, that's really good. CA Selma could learn a thing or two.
Yeah, I was having a quick look at MAVIS as well, and it looks like it's personalisable to some extent. So you can set your own minima as well for whatever weather you're comfortable with,
Extremely
which is
sunny days.
cav okay or not.
Yeah.
So it's a great move.
Well, talking about weather and flying in weather, Cirrus have just launched their own instrument rating training program. It's part of Cirrus's existing training system called Cirrus Approach, and it's obviously meant for Cirrus pilots. And if you buy a Cirrus, with its fantastic cockpit and everything it's got in a Cirrus, you really do need to take an instrument rating to get the most out of the aircraft. It's a bit of a waste just flying it VFR only. Much as we all like flying VFR. But no, it looks a very good program. It says apparently you can do the instrument rating between 1 and 4 months. That seems pretty quick for a
4
PPL.
months for 4 months for an instrument rating seems, because that is about as tough a challenge as you can submit yourself to, really, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. It is at the moment. It's only for the FAA instrument rating.
Okay.
Obviously, more Cirrus aircraft in the States than anywhere else.
Yeah.
But don't know. It looks like a great. Looks like a really nice, enjoyable program, actually.
Okay. Well, Cirrus are they are experts in making really accessible and excellent training. So I know it's all part of the Cirrus life, isn't it?
Yeah.
If only I had the money. Yeah, well.
I know it's not my life, that's for sure. I'd love it, but no.
Another little manufacturer story. Tecnam have tied up with a company called Green Aero Lease to offer lease deals to flying schools around Europe. And they've got quite a few out there already, quite a few aircraft flying out there at the moment. But with Tecnam, it's so that schools can, if you like, buy a brand new fleet of modern aircraft and not have to come up with a whole huge amount of capital. Obviously, there's a cost to the lease, but it does enable you to get aircraft such as the Tecnam P2008. That's a very nice two-seater, high-wing two-seater. There's the P Mentor, which is a low-wing two-seat.
Yeah, and that's been really popular with the airline training schools.
It has, yeah. It's fully IFR and fully equipped and everything.
Yeah.
There's the P2010, which is the four-seater.
Yeah.
And there's also the P2006T, which is the twin.
Okay, the Rotax-powered twin.
Which you need, obviously, for multi-engine training. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's got to be good news for some schools, because aeroplanes aren't cheap.
No.
And the financial world today is a challenge. So anything that allows schools to get into new training aeroplanes for hopefully affordable parts, it's got to be good.
Yeah,
I
think some opportunities, doesn't it?
It does, and also I think if you're learning to fly, jumping into a 50-year-old tired aeroplane,
it is weird, isn't it? Because we all accept aeroplanes for what they are, and we go, oh, we love the patina of old aeroplanes, but actually, for some people coming along and training, the expectation that actually I should be training in something brand new.
Yeah,
I'm sure some people must be like, is this it?
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, all these aircraft have got glass cockpit now. So, they're really bang up to date.
Fantastic. Yeah. Annabelle.
Yeah, so this is the news that the BMAA has 3 new jobs. And I think this is partly down to the changes in the licensing that have come through, which are going to bring a really big boost to the microlight sector. So they are looking for a chief inspector, and they will be responsible for safety and airworthiness, a design approval engineer. But actually, as well as that engineer, they said that they're looking to expand their technical team generally, and that includes graduate jobs, which I think is brilliant. Imagine that straight out of university and working for the BMAA. That would be brilliant.
That would be a dream.
And they are looking for a safety officer, obviously focused on improving flight safety, but they would also be leading the wings scheme. We have some news about the BMAA, actually. Owen Johns will be on the Flyer Show on the 15th of October. If you have any questions that you would like to ask him, I'll be putting a thread up on the forum.
That'll be great, because that'll be our first Wadzig Live guest.
Yeah, and a very good one to start with, actually, because Owen, he's been in the job since August, but he's come in with a huge amount of energy. He was the organiser of the 2024 World Microlight Championships, which are held in the UK.
Okay. No small feat, is it?
No.
That's no small feat. He's got lots of ideas to take the association forwards, and of course, microlighting is it's got a great future at the moment.
It has,
because it's where all the activity on new aircraft is happening. So it's going to be exciting to talk to Owen.
Yeah, fantastic. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the beginning of the show, we talked about our topic this week, which is PPL next steps. And Annabelle, I think you're up first, aren't you?
I am, and I have chosen tailwheel differences training, and partly that's because it was the first next thing that I did, having got my PPL.
Okay.
So like pretty much I would think most other people with a PPL, I started in a 152. Went to the PA28 straight away because it was a bit cheaper, but then I did not realise how lucky I was at the time. The CFI at my flying school had his own chipmunk, so he basically did my tailwheel differences in exchange for fuel.
Oh wow, that was a good deal.
So that was brilliant. So I went from flying a PA28 at Coventry to with full air traffic to jumping in a chipmunk at Husbands Bosworth, where the first circuits I did in that thing were 300 feet, figure of 8 circuits, and here's a field. Of course, there's no runway, so that was a bit of a baptism of fire. But my vote for tailwheel differences is because it actually teaches you how to handle the aircraft.
Yeah.
And so when you're learning in something with a nose wheel, you kind of aim it at the ground and you steer a little bit, but it comes together and it's fairly straightforward. But there's something about learning to fly in a really coordinated manner, proper use of all the controls. You've got much more confidence over the aircraft. I think, it teaches you actually how to handle things as well. Yeah.
Learning to fly tailwheel requires you to be in command of the aeroplane 100% of the time. There's no, you can't let the aeroplane get ahead of you.
Yeah.
Can you?
No. Yeah. And I think it also does open up a whole new world of aircraft as well. You've got vintage, classic warbirds, aerobatic type short strip machines. There's all sorts of interesting, exciting aircraft that you can start to fly once you've got your tailwheel differences done.
And we'll probably cover it in a future show, but there's so many groups that are, built around tailwheel aeroplanes.
Yeah.
So it is one of those ratings that I think is a really valuable one to go and get, because it'll give you a new skill. It'll make you feel great about your flying.
Yep.
And B, it, like you say, opens up a world of other airplanes for you.
I think it's a really good confidence boost as well. It does feel like you're actually properly flying and not just driving a plane.
Yeah.
I mean, with a chipmunk, you strapped it on and you went flying.
And of course, a chipmunk is tandem seating, so that would have been an even bigger move away from a 152 or a PA-28.
Yes, yeah, there is, and of course, when I was doing that, it was before the days of SkyDemon, so it was all paper charts, and so the communication was generally a good thwack across the head with a rolled up map. That did the job, but also things that you might not consider. So the CFI was quite tall, and so doing full and free, and you'd think, oh, there's an issue with the controls, and then I suddenly realised there was a gentle ow from the back seat
as you battered someone.
Yeah. So that was also a really different experience.
And a control stick as well, rather than a yoke.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's a pretty rare occurrence when you get a tailwheel aeroplane with a yoke.
But I have actually.
Okay, have you found one?
Yeah, I have found one, and I have flown a pushpack, and the pushpack has a steering wheel and a tail wheel.
I think,
so that's
and
brilliant fun.
People are probably going, "What's a pushback?" But it's actually an Indian-built Aronka Chief, isn't it?
Pretty much, yes. Yeah, with a bench seat. So if you fly sideways too much, you find yourself gently sliding across.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Dave, what did you pick?
Well, I picked upset recovery training, known as a UPRT for short.
And you've done this, haven't you?
I did. I flew with Greeners, Mark Greenfield, down at Ultimate High at Goodwood.
Yeah.
And it was a brilliant course, actually. I really do recommend anybody who wants to improve their flying to go and do that. It was set up originally because there have been a few airliner crashes, particularly the Air France one, where the pilots didn't recognise they were in a stall.
Okay.
Which is worrying.
Which is worrying, yes. Yeah, anyway, but they'd also had icing on a pitot tube, I think. So they were getting misleading information through. But anyway, they ended up crashing the aircraft, of course. But so the whole thing about upset recovery training is is avoiding getting into that, or at least if you're into it, recognising it early and recovering. It's not about doing crazy aerobatic manoeuvres. You can do, but that's a different thing. And Mark Greenfield's approach to teaching this is very much about building layers of confidence and trust. So there's a ground briefing, going through various things.
Yep.
But then when you're in the air, in the Slingsby T67, and Mark makes a big point about it not being a military type of course. They don't wear military flying suits. They don't wear helmets. Yeah. They even have a parachute, as you do with, say, aerobatics training. But it's all about normal flying, where you just might do something that suddenly the aircraft is out of control. Yeah. It's about recognising that and getting it back. And so in this layered training that Mark does, it starts off with something simple, a bit like the unusual attitudes that you do during your PPL course. Yep. So he'll throw the aircraft around a bit, say you have control and you're facing down towards the ground, or up, whatever, whichever it is, and then gradually increasing the difficulty of recovering, if you like. Okay. We do also go into a full on spin, and let it develop, just so you know that it is recoverable. Yeah.
So is there a mantra for recovery?
Yes, there is. Well, in fact, Greeners is very, very analytical in this, and he's come up with his own formula, if you like, to make it simple. He recognises the fact that in that initial losing of control, the pilot is probably a bit startled.
Oh, I think definitely, yeah.
Shocked.
Very, yeah.
Yeah, and because, what did I do wrong? Why am I upside down or whatever?
Yeah.
And so he came up with this very simple thing, which is push, roll, power. So in other words, you push all the controls centrally forwards, you roll the wings to get them level, and then you adjust the power to whatever's needed.
Yeah, because fundamentally, if you push, you're unloading the aeroplane.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a great start to some kind of recovery.
Yeah. And he also sort of covers things where you could easily make a mistake.
Right.
So, for instance, the one that finished me off, and after this we had to go back because I was feeling a bit ill, was that we were simulating turning onto final from base leg.
Okay.
So we had 2 stages of flap deployed. We were going a bit slow, and then turning onto final. And Mark was saying, "Oh, you've missed the centre line. You're going to have to put a bit more rudder in to bring us back." I should say at this point we weren't doing it at 600 feet.
No,
we were doing it at 5,000 feet.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of room to recover. Because when I added more rudder to bring it back onto the centre line, I added too much rudder, and it immediately went into a violent stall.
Okay.
And spin.
Yeah.
And it was it really caught me by surprise. We must have lost 2 or 3 seconds before I realised what was going on. And then just the normal push, roll, power came back.
It's that whole thing with adding rudder, because people go, "Well, I wouldn't add rudder." And I think if you're low and in the circuit, sometimes people are a bit, like you say, if you need to get a turn going and you're near the ground, people are reluctant to bank, but they might start using the rudder a bit, and like you say, that can be a bad set of circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, basically, obviously, you've got to try and keep the aircraft balanced, keep the ball in the middle.
Yeah.
But if you're drifting wide,
yeah,
and you don't really want to, or whatever,
you can do some unusual things sometimes, and it can get you into trouble, can't it?
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Of course, full spin training used to be part of the PPL
syllabus, but it is no longer. But I know lots of people lament that. So I certainly, it's something it wasn't required of me to do it, but it's something I did learn. So.
I did it.
Yeah.
I did it once, and my instructor said he'd never heard a young lady use such language.
Oh no.
And have you used the training since you've done the course?
No, I haven't actually. Fortunately, I've not managed. Well, I have, you see, because I haven't got into an upset. So I've stayed away from it.
Well, that's good.
But there was an occasion years ago when I was flying in the States, and I was behind, number 2 in the circuit to a Learjet, and I was conscious all the way around of keeping the distance, keeping slightly higher than his approach to stay out of the wake. But then I was about 20 feet from landing. Yeah. And I must have flown through the last bits of his wake.
Oh, wow.
And suddenly we're all over the place.
Yeah.
Staring at the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't so much, I didn't have the training then, but it was just kind of like survival.
Yeah.
Pull it back, full power. And miraculously, it came out. It was a bit of a miracle, actually.
Yeah. But UPRT, I think, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good.
Definitely. Yeah. Ed, what did you choose?
What did I pick? So I picked something a little bit different. I went for formation flying. So there are a whole bunch of schools where you can now do this around the UK. I picked formation because it encourages you to fly precisely, act with good discipline, and it can't be achieved without practice. And you need to basically glue yourself to a set of standard operating procedures. And I think sometimes procedures are a good thing in your flying. It keeps you honest. During the initial stage of training, learning to fly formation, you'll be taught how to join a formation and hold station, and how to change station as well. And it may sound odd going, well, surely joining a formation, that must be really easy. But actually, we all know that's one of the most difficult things you can do, because you're at very least, you might go scooting past your other aeroplane, and that just looks embarrassing because you overshot. Or worst case, you go running into that, and that's a one-time fail.
Yeah.
So, but basically, you learn formation, and as you go further along, you'll learn more advanced techniques, learning things like formation takeoff, getting into tail chasing, and then weirdly, you won't end up learning how to lead a formation until you've really mastered a whole set of the skills, because actually leading a formation is one of the biggest challenges. To be a smooth formation lead is a real skill. So, but I think formation is it's exciting for people because probably you haven't experienced in your PPL seeing another aircraft flying alongside you. And to learn how to do that properly is a great team exercise because you need other flyers. It's a great trust exercise. Usually, always the instructors involved in this kind of thing inspire a great deal of confidence. It's a real good thing for your own confidence, I think.
It's also hugely enjoyable. I mean, we've been lucky enough doing flight tests and doing air-to-air photography.
Yeah,
We've been lucky enough to do quite a bit of formation flying, but it's really enjoyable.
yes.
I'd love to do it actually.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that next.
Yeah.
But that would be a good thing. But it's a fantastic thing. So I would, if I was going to recommend one thing, I'd say seek out a formation school. There's a whole bunch of places you can go all around the UK. So if you fancy one of those that we've suggested, please tell us in the comments. And if you've got suggestions for PPLs to try something new after they're getting their initial license, drop that in the comments too. So Annabelle, some club news perhaps.
Yes. Well, new month now, so new landing fees. October, we have Perth, we have Leicester, Audley End, and Goodwood, which is a
Okay.
nice one to have for us. Webinars, of course, for Flyer Club members. That the most recent one was Frankfurten on 5 lifestyle changes that can keep you flying. And at the end of this month, we have a brilliant webinar coming up, don't we, Ed?
Yeah, it might be me.
It might be you.
I won't say it's brilliant.
We'll reserve judgment, but that's going to be on air-to-air photography, isn't
Yeah,
it? So
I've
that's
done a little bit. So
picking up on your formation of flying again.
I guess so. Yeah.
So yeah, all of that is available to Flyer Club members for £6 a month or £62 for the year.
It's the best deal in aviation. Well, we think so anyway. So the big question this week is what caught your eye, Dave?
Well, I've gone for a Ruckus, actually.
Oh,
Ruckus, yes. It's an aircraft made by a company called Top Rudder Aircraft.
okay.
It's a single-seat, lightweight bush plane. And if you imagine looking at a child's climbing frame with some big tyres and some wings and an engine, this is pretty much the Ruckus.
And that's what makes it a bush plane, the big tyres.
The whole thing. It's the thing is, it's very light. It's got a stall speed of just 26 miles an hour, so you've got very low mass, which means that you can come in and land pretty much anywhere that there is a tiniest bit of strip. And it's it's obviously aimed at America because they've got not only do they have fantastic loads of empty countryside over there, but also they have this thing called Part 103, which is where you can fly a certain category of aircraft without even having to have a pilot's license.
Okay.
Yep. But the great thing I love about the Ruckus is it's just so simple. It's open. It's pretty much open. Everything's open.
They haven't indulged you in stuff on the aeroplane, have they? Because
No.
it doesn't even have an outside.
No, it doesn't. No, it's just a very simple aeroplane. You can have a choice of engines, anything from a 38 horsepower Pellini.
Yeah.
They make engines which are mostly used by paragliders.
Yeah.
All the way up to 115 horsepower Rotax 914.
That is a massive jump.
That is a huge jump. The other thing they don't do is they don't make any factory-built aircraft.
Okay.
So you're not ready to fly. You either buy a kit and build it yourself,
Yeah.
or you buy a kit and you build it at the factory.
So
Which
build
I
assist.
like the idea of doing that.
Yes.
It's a subject for another time, but I can't believe that we don't have more build assist
Yeah.
around the world.
Well, the good thing about it is that if you're using the factory jigs
Yeah.
to build it, then it's going to be straight,
Yeah.
and that sorts out so many problems that might come up later. Yeah. Anyway, but it's not particularly cheap. You might think,
Well, you go. There's not much to it, so it must come at a budget
Yeah.
cost.
well, the basic kit is $28,000.
Okay. No engine.
No engine, no avionics, no
Paint?
paint.
No.
No avionics probably isn't too much of a product because it doesn't look like you got much of a panel in there.
So, well, there are lots of options. You know. So you can choose pretty much anything you want.
Yeah.
Provided you can power it, I guess that's the thing. But so if you want basic kit is $28,000. If you want to go factory build, it's another $10,000.
Okay.
That's probably worth it. But then, of course, you've got to find an engine.
Yeah.
The Pellini is probably not very much money, but the Rotax 914.
That does
is-
cost.
This is starting to add up, Dave.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
I can see you ending up with a number that's bigger than 50.
Yes. There are a lot of options, and I think if you ticked every single box
Yeah.
and then got it to the UK, you would be looking close 200,000.
Well, yeah, and I
Yeah.
guess the thing is that being an American kit plane, that's probably not approved in the UK.
No, but it's not to stop somebody who's got a bright idea and really likes it.
Really motivated.
Really
I'll get
motivated.
that approved.
They've got a large fortune to start with to get to bring it over and get it approved. Yeah.
And what a great name, Ruckus.
Ruckus, I know. The name alone does it for me, actually.
Okay, fair enough. Annabelle.
Yeah, so what caught my eye is that I had a visit to the historic Army Aviation flight at Middle Wallop last week. And I got to have a look around their hangar and meet the brilliant team that's over there. So if you don't know, this is a unique collection of Army Air Corps aircraft.
Yeah.
And that includes a Beaver, a Sioux, Chipmunk, Osters, a Scout, and a Skeeter. And actually, a surprise to a lot of people is that half is a charity and it is 100% run by volunteers. So they are entirely self-funded through donations and grants. And even though they're behind the wire at Middle Wallop, there's no support.
Oh, wow.
I'd
I'd always kind of figured that they got some kind of military support, but...
No, none at all. So, yeah, it's entirely based on donations. So just to give you an idea of their operating costs, they told me that the fuel capacity of the Beaver is 360 litres. So that means that the hourly rate for them is about £500.
That's mostly fuel, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And winter servicing for the Beaver last year, how much do you think that was?
Ooh, I'm going to guess, I don't know, what, 7 or 8 grand?
I'd have said a bit more than that, about 12, probably.
£28,000.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're basically funding all of this out of charitable donations.
Yeah, donations and grants.
Okay.
Yeah. And they said that a lot of the show organisers don't or can't pay for the aircraft to attend, so they're really limited to the number of shows that they can do that, to benefit the charity, so they don't make too much of a loss. And it's a big team of volunteers. So they said that they've got around 15 engineers, about 15 support staff, and 8 pilots. So big team.
Yeah, just as well. They're all volunteers.
Yeah, it's a lot of biscuits.
And operating helicopters as well. And helicopters are not cheap or easy to operate, so they're doing a really good job.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and it's a nice place as well. That I just turned up, not completely randomly. I was booked in, but everyone made a lot of time to come and chat and tell me about the aircraft, and it's very, very welcoming. So I have actually been talking to them as well.
Yeah.
About doing something for Flyer Club members. So we're talking about having a special hangar visit with a bit of food and maybe a guest speaker as well. So watch this space, because we'll try and organise that.
Opportunity to visit Middle Wallop is cool.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want to find out more about that, you can visit their website on haaf.uk.
And we'll put that link in the video description as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Ed, what did you choose?
What did I choose? It was a post on Facebook, and it was about an epic endurance flight that some US naval aviators and a kangaroo took.
Excuse me.
79 years ago, and it was almost to the day in an aeroplane called the Turtle. The Turtle in question was a Lockheed P-2V Neptune, which was a bomber and patrol aircraft. The aircraft in question was specially built by Lockheed. They stripped all the weight out of it and filled it with as many fuel tanks as they could, because they had a plan to make a very, very long flight. That flight began on the 29th of September 1946 at Pierce Aerodrome, which is 6 miles inland, north of Perth, and in Western Australia. And basically, because they were loading this aeroplane up so much with fuel, they towed it out to the runway before they put the fuel in it. Basically pointed it in the direction it's going to go and filled it with fuel, because it was in an extreme overload condition. And basically, when they fully fueled it, the Neptune's all-up weight was 85,561 pounds, which, if you think that's a big number, that's because it was 24,408 pounds over its normal gross weight.
Wow.
Big numbers.
That's big. That's really heavy.
That's really heavy, yeah. And they needed, not surprisingly, the aeroplane needed some assistance to get off the ground at this point, or to even accelerate. So they put JATO rocket packs on the Turtle, got to 87 knots, and fired the JATO rocket packs. they made enough of a difference because that got to 150 knots when the aeroplane took off, made it to 5 feet altitude, at which point they retracted the gear, which got rid of some drag. That meant that they could accelerate, and by the time the JTOs burned out, the aeroplane had got to 20 feet and accelerated to 130 knots. And at that point, I think they felt success was within their grasp. Eventually, the aircraft headed out over the coast. They jettisoned the JTO packs.
Not
weight
still.
gone.
Not still at 20 feet.
No. They did actually reach a sensible cruising altitude, but it took a while. And basically, they were aiming to fly to the States. Headwinds ended up pushing them south of their intended course, but they couldn't allow the winds to really slow them down too much, so they allowed that very gentle drift. By the time the Turtle made it to the States, it flew across the Sierra Nevada and Rocky Mountains. It was really bad weather and turbulence, freezing rain, snow and ice. They survived all of that. But the adverse weather did cost them their planned destination. They were heading for Washington, D.C., couldn't make that. So they decided they would go for the Naval Air Station Columbus in Ohio. The Turtle touched down 1:28 p.m. on the 1st of October. They had flown, so 4 naval aviators and the Kangaroo had flown 9,762 nautical miles. Total flight time of 55 hours, 17 minutes. It set a new FAI record for distance in a straight line without landing.
I have to ask.
Yes.
What the heck was the Kangaroo doing?
Yeah, it's not like, do you think they went, just 4 crew, we need a Kangaroo as well, grab the Kangaroo. No, the Kangaroo was a gift to a zoo in the States from Australia. So I'm quite what the poor Kangaroo thought of being bundled in an aeroplane, and it's like take off with rockets, and it's like, how long am I going to be on this thing?
Yeah.
It's like the in-flight snacks are terrible.
Yeah, so last time I ate grass from underneath that tree.
I know, yeah, exactly. As a piston engine record, powered engine record, it would stand for 40 years. Wasn't broken until the Rutan Voyager went around the world in 1986.
Wow.
But yeah, I think 3.5 hours is about my endurance limit. So 55 hours.
What's a kangaroo's endurance limit?
I have at 55 hours maybe. But yeah, so I was blown away by that, and so yeah, that would have been 49 years ago. 79 years ago. At this very moment, that would have been going on. So,
incredible.
Yeah. So So if any of our caught your eyes have caught your eye in the comment, tell us about them. Otherwise, maybe you've seen something. So tell us about that too. Events. What's coming up, Dave?
Well, we're getting to the quieter time of year. So on Saturday, 4th of October, there's a Cirrus flying at Wolverhampton Airport. And on Sunday, there's the Race Day Air Show at Shuttleworth.
Oh, that's normally a great show.
Terrific show. That's one of the best of the year, I think.
Yeah.
Looking further ahead, Airability are staging their annual Aviators Ball on Saturday, the 22nd November. It's always a big, enjoyable bash. Annabelle, you normally go to that, don't you?
I do, yeah. It's a really good night out. And I have been told that tickets are selling really quickly. There are some left. If you want to go, Ed, you need to get on with it.
Okay.
And we're gonna see you there this year, do we think?
Yeah, it's unlikely, Annabelle, but I would say it's a great cause, so do support it.
Yeah,
So,
it's a really good night out.
what are you going to be bidding on in the auction this year?
I don't know what's actually in the auction, and I still haven't worked out what to do with the giant orange hand from the back of the Chinook display team that I accidentally won a couple of years ago.
That's it for the events.
It just remains for me to thank Dave and Annabelle, and thank you for watching, and SkyDemon for supporting the show. We couldn't do it without you. So obviously, if you like this, give us a like, a comment, or why not subscribe to the channel? It all helps us out. So anyway, take care, everybody, and fly safe, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. So have you ever been in a formation of more than 2 aircraft? Have you been, say, in a threesome, and you've been the one in the? Okay.
Join the Flyer Club today and save hundreds of pounds with your free landing vouchers. Watch insightful monthly webinars from our group of aviation experts and access all the online content on flyer.co.uk. From just £6 per month or £62 for the full year. You can meet new people, fly more and become a better pilot. Join today at flyer.co.uk/membership.